Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 update video. Now, it's officially confirmed we finally have 4 brand new cars coming to Gran Turismo 7, as well as an update coming next week, which Kaz described as a big updates. So take that as you will. I'm just going to assume that by big he means the VR implementation. Don't know about the rest of it. However, we do know that it is 4 cars finally confirmed. So in all honesty, I'd say the easiest one to guess of the bunch is actually going to be the Porsche. And yes, it's quite obvious to tell it's a Porsche because of what I like to call the frog lights at the front. You can quite easily tell with the shape of this car, and I believe this one to be the Porsche 911, the 2.7 Carrera. In my opinion, this is one of the prettiest cars Porsche have ever made. It's absolutely iconic. I love the kind of stickered and vinyled Carrera on the side, the little ducktail, and to me it's absolutely stunning. Whilst it's not as crazy as something like the 911 Turbo, which was a little bit later than this one, I honestly just think the kind of sporty but simplistic look with those, frog front eyes and just the, original Porsche 911 shape is just absolutely perfect. So massively excited for this one. I know a lot of other people are probably like, oh yeah, it's another Porsche, who cares? But in my opinion, this is one of the best Porsches they could have ever added to this game. A lot of other people thought it might have been the Yellowbird, the roof design. Absolutely, I do not think it is that. I'm definitely pretty much set that it is the Carrera 2.7. So next on the list, I believe this to be the Citron DS23 Pallas. Now, I'm not really that excited about this car, definitely not from a performance point anyway. I don't know how it's going to fit into this game. I am definitely certainly set that it is this car though, and there's a funny story behind this car. My granddad actually used to own one when these were kind of like brand new, and they have the hydraulic suspension. If you've never ever seen one, it's the weirdest looking thing, typical, classic 1970s looks mixed with this really, quite revolutionary for its time hydraulic suspension. My granddad had one. It failed within just a few days. They tried to fix it and the whole car just went kaput, and that was the end of that. I believe in total he owned the car for around about a week at most, and that was it. So yeah, whilst it was very innovative and something completely different, yeah, it didn't really catch on these days, should I say, anyway, in kind of the mainstream sense. Really cool car though, so I am excited to, go and give this a try. I don't know how it'll fit in within Gran Turismo 7 though. It's not really a fast, performance car. It is quirky, however, and I could definitely see some really kind of old classic car racers coming up with this thing. So I'll be excited to see where this thing goes. Next up, now this is a bit of a legendary one, and it may interest some and may not interest others. However, I am very excited for this one. I believe the next car to be the Honda RA272, the first ever Japanese car to win a Formula 1 race, I believe way back in 1965. I believe it also gave Goodyear its first ever win, and in all honesty, it's just such an iconic, beautiful, retro Formula 1 car, and I'm very, very excited to see this enter the game. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit of a menace to try and get under control. However, I think, for me personally, driving this thing in VR is going to be something absolutely special, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this car. Absolutely stunning machine. Will it be quick? Obviously it'll be fast, but will it kind of hold up? Will it even be controllable? That's my biggest fear with this car. I've got a feeling it's going to be a bit of a brute, but overall it should be an absolutely awesome experience. So massively excited for this one, and definitely if you've never ever seen this car or kind of seen footage of it or anything like that, or heard the story behind this car, there is some awesome videos out there on YouTube which you can go and check out. It's definitely a legendary car, no matter which way you look at it. So yeah, can't wait for this one. So the final car of the 4 And I think the one that's causing the most issues for people to really know what it is, I think this is personally going to be the Genesis VGT. It's a car that I believe has been teased as far back as 2021, with the latest update coming in, I believe 2022, at one of the World Series. I believe it was kind of like, it was a trackside talk or something, if I remember rightly. It's been absolutely a while since I've watched it. And there were, I believe, some teased images of the car. So I'm going to bring up those teased images. Obviously, they'll be in the background of this video, and we'll kind of, you know, be able to get a rough idea of the shape of this. Now, originally, when this was first talked about, I believe in 2021, it did have a completely different design concept. So if you do go and try and search up this car, it may look completely different from what you're seeing in the silhouette. However, the kind of shape of the roof, like really flat roof, kind of not only gives away that it's probably a VGT, but definitely the Genesis VGT, which has been spoken about for quite a while. At first, I did think, well, if it's a VGT, there was another one that I kind of gathered and had a look at, which was the Skoda VGT, which currently don't have any cars in the game. That is an EV car. I'm not sure on the Genesis itself what it'll be powered by, or really any information apart from those teaser images that have been around for a while. But yeah, I did think maybe it's a Skoda, but the Skoda looks completely different. That was something that I put a community post up about, what must have been about 3 or 4 months ago at this point. So yeah, I think I'm definitely set that this is the Genesis VGT. So that is going to be it. Those are all the 4 brand new cars coming to Gran Turismo 7 in the next update. Obviously, the silhouettes came a little bit earlier, did kind of catch me off guard. And at first I thought, okay, this is going to be quite a difficult one to predict. But the more I looked through it and the more I kind of remembered back on stuff like the Genesis being teased and such, I think it all kind of, you know, fell into one and became, well, a lot more obvious. I mean, the Pallas, the DS23, and obviously the Carrera were pretty obvious. I think that's definitely the 2.7. The Genesis, like I said, with how much it was teased and how long that's kind of been hanging around for in one form or another, I think that's definitely that one. In terms of the VGT, the Honda RA272 was, you know, very much obvious. You can, you know, quite clearly see the twin tailpipes coming off the back of that thing. Looks absolutely incredible. So yeah, a pretty straightforward list to guess, to be quite honest. I think at first it does look quite confusing, but the more you look, the easier it is to just guess what's coming. So it's looking like it is going to be a decent sized update. Obviously, hopefully it's not just the cars and the PSVR 2. Hopefully there is a nice bit of content coming with it. There is the rumours going around of a new track. I believe that's down to the exhibition series being kind of mentioned as a TBA or TBC. I can't quite remember. So yeah, now in terms of what they could be, I'm going to think that it could either be either the Nürburgring layouts, which have been kind of, you know, in the game files for a while. If it is that, I'll be pretty disappointed. There was actually a screenshot of that somewhere on Twitter, which I saw. I can't confirm if that's real or not. I'm going to assume it is. If it is that, though, that'll be quite disappointing. Hopefully with VR we do get a new full-blown track, but this is polyphony we're talking about, so I'm not quite sure. There is obviously the rumour of Grand Valley's been in the works for a long time now, so it would be nice to see that one make its return alongside VR2 and the new cars. So there we have it. Those are the new cars. I will see you all later on. Don't forget to keep tuning in next week when the update drops, because I will cover absolutely everything in as much detail as I can from that update. Have a great day. Stay safe. Peace.